Hi, I bought this Makita MLT100 table saw to help me with my woodworking skills. I have a very small balcony to work with, so I built this table to help me take this table saw wherever I want it. I have put a 6 plywood here which catches most of the dust that falls through the chute over here, and there is a huge storage area where I can store my miter sled and the table saw fence. So let me go ahead and show you how I made this. The construction of the table is going to be very simple. It will be a box with a hollow top. The hollow top is through which all the dust that falls down the blade will be collected. The table saw height is 13.5 inches. The work table height is 38 inches and the caster wheels are 2 inches each. When I add the height of the table saw and the caster wheels and deduct it from the height of the work table, it gives me the height of the table to construct. It's about 22.5 inches. I grabbed this long 18 mm sheet of plywood and cut it to size. Using this aluminum extrusion as the straight edge, I made my cuts. To make this box, I will need 5 sides. Not sure if this flimsy fence will work, so I mark the lines using a straight edge and then using the sliding plate of my table saw to carefully cut along the line. For smaller pieces, I use the table saw fence to guide the cuts. I repeat the steps to get all 4 sides of the box. Wasn't sure if the blades were secured properly, so just made a check on it before continuing to cut the rest of the pieces. Once all the 4 sides were cut, I took the top side and began to cut a hole in the middle. Using a square, I marked 3 inches from the ends of the plywood. Then I rounded the corners using a paint container. Using a 8 mm drill bit, I drilled the first hole through which I can insert the jigsaw blade. Then it's a matter of cutting along the line patiently. The more precise you are, the less sanding you have to do. Here's the cutout piece. To keep the sides square while joining them, I screw in 2 plywood cutouts to the work table. Then I butt up the sides against these plywoods and secure it temporarily with my 3D printed corner clamp. Using the Dremel tool, I drill some pilot holes. Then using some 1.5 inch screws, I fix the sides together. I did not use wood glue because I may later improvise this design. Flipping the box, I followed the same step to join the rest of the sides and the bottom. To create the backside of the box, I cut the plywood into correct dimensions and made a test fit. The plywood had a small bend in it, so I sit on it while I join it with screws. I secured the backside plywood with some screws from the side too. When I dragged the table around the workspace, I didn't want it to slide around, so I decided to add some trim pieces. Using the leftover cutouts, I made some trim pieces. This will hold the table saw in place when I move the table around. Each trim piece is of width 3 inches, which I cut into size on my table saw. Without glue, I attach it with some 1.5 inch screws. To keep the table movable, I am using some caster wheels. This cost me Rs 400 a box. It has 2 lockable wheels and 2 free moving ones. To insert the wheels a bit, I mark the distance first, then drill some pilot holes before attaching them with screws. Here's the table saw kept against my work table where I can pass through any wood and it just slides on top of it. It's perfect. The height just matches really good and this is exactly what I was aiming for. I'm happy how this project turned out to be. The 18mm plywoods hold everything together and it's very strong. I drove in some bolts to secure the table saw to the top. The sides are primed before applying 2 coats of Asian Paints satin paint. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button below, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Follow me on Instagram to see what I'm working on right now, and like me on Facebook to see some behind the scene videos. Here are some videos that might interest you. Until next time, happy learning!